indoor ski and snowboarding. So if you come to Orlando and you want to learn how to ski or snowboard or fine-tune the techniques you have right before winter, this is a great place to come. Now, Danny's actually going to go up, and she is a seasoned snowboarder. So she's going to give this a try and then tell us afterwards what she thought about it. We're here in Winter Park, not too far away from Orlando, Florida. Just a little bit north, an easy, quick drive, honestly. And we're at the Winter Club Indoor Ski and Snowboard. And my best friend Danny here is going to go up on the slopes. Now, Danny is actually an experienced snowboarder, but this is a little different compared to actual snow. We'll talk with Danny after her lesson here and then see what she thinks, whether or not it's drastically different or it just takes some getting used to.
Boots and bindings, so I'm not gonna, normally when we have a first time student who doesn't have any experience, I teach them all about the high back, the bindings, and teach them all the vocabulary. So again, my name is Christopher. I'm gonna be your snowboard instructor. I'm gonna use this remote control. I'm always gonna say 3, 2, 1, start. And 3, 2, 1, stop. If it leaves, and then come back to the bar. Good. Now you see that little orange X in the middle of the board? Now this time we're gonna push off and we're gonna touch that with our hand, but we're not gonna lean over, we're gonna squat. So hold up, watch me. See how squatting down, and then come back to the ball. Your turn. Good. Now, watch me. Now your turn. And when I say 2, I'm gonna ask you to push off of the bar, and then when I say 2, I'll say jump, and that's when I want you to jump. Okay. So go ahead, Danny, push off the bar, and jump. Nice, good. Wow, very good, Danny. And so again, I'm gonna correct your posture. So right now you're sitting a little bit more like this, kind of like you're trying to ride a horse. Yeah. I'm gonna ride the snowboard. So I'm standing up a little straighter, a little bit taller, and we're gonna play a little game I like to play called Simon Says. You heard it? Yeah. Simon Says, raise your right hand. Simon Says, put your right hand down. Simon Says, raise your left hand. Put your left hand down. Simon didn't say.
Epic fail.
Simon Says, raise both hands. Very good, Danny. So you still had a 1/2 inch to 1 inch shadow underneath your toes? Nope.
So how different is this compared to being on snow?
Very completely different. I feel like you have to use more muscles to try to keep yourself up so you don't go flying up.
Awesome.
And again, Danny, you're kind of sitting down a little bit, so stand up a little bit taller. See how much muscle I'm using?
Yeah.
Like none. I'm just completely standing up straight and tall. And the only reason I'm going backwards is because I'm increasing the friction by increasing the shadow underneath my toes. You see that? Mm-hmm. So if I want to come forward, I'm decreasing the friction, decreasing the shadow, and I'm coming to the bar. I'm not using my muscles at all. So now that you know how to do that, now we're going to go from heel side back to straight. Now do you hear the difference? Mm-hmm. Now there's no friction in your board. You're literally just cruising down to the bottom of the straight. Good. And go back to heel side. And let's see if you can scoot back a little bit. Very good, very good. So all you do is leaning back a little bit. It's kind of like a truss wall. Very good, Danny, very good. Very good. Very good. Awesome. Now see if you can come closer to the bar. Nice. So you just did a complete heel side. Now I'm going to show you heel side, and I'm coming to the right foot. More weight on the left foot. Go to the left. So I'm just doing heel side turns, and whichever way, as you know, has the weight on it, that's which way I'm going to go. So go ahead and give it a try. So angle your board a little bit like I am. There you go. Now put more weight on the right foot. More weight on the right. Right. Nice. Now straighten your board out. Put more weight on the left foot. More weight on the left. Nice. Good.
Danny, right before you started, he asked what type of foot you are. Can you explain what the differences are?
Well, on skis, normally you have 2 feet, but on a board you have just one because you're strapped into one board. So you either have to go left foot or right foot. They're not called left and right, they're called regular or goofy. Now I'm a left foot in front, which is a regular rider, so I always ride like this. And then there's goofy rider that rides with their right foot in front, like this. So those are the two different ways.
Gotcha.
There's some J turns, so we're gonna go from the front bar, watch your head, to the back bar. And go ahead and pop up. Remember, put your heels into the slope, toes to the sky. Fantastic. All right, so you're a regular footer.
Yeah.
So being left foot forward, so go ahead and scoot over a little bit. Actually, hold on, no, you're gonna go this way. We're gonna go heel side first.
So
come
heel?
over this way? Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and start the slope. 3, 2, 1. And that'll be better.
So weird.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a J turn and I'm gonna end up at the middle bar. Ready? Watch it. 10, 9, hit me. Now I'm gonna go ahead and ease your way over that. That's up. So I'm gonna have you do the heel side just the same way as I just did. So I'm gonna give you a little countdown, give you a little courage. Do you have any questions about this?
I'm good.
I figured you were.
It's gonna feel different, but
Yeah.
I got it.
But still, you're going to transfer your weight from all of your weight in your front foot, all your weight in your heels, and the board's going to follow. Here we go. 10, 9, 8. You're going to let go of the bar after the 10, 9, 8. And I'm going to go from all my weight on the front foot to, now I'm going to have all my weight in my toes. And I'm still going to have that ½ inch to 1 inch gap underneath my heels, because I know if I drop those heels,
Yeah.
it's not gonna
That's
be
what I
right.
wanted to do when I fell that way on my heels. I wanted to fall on my butt because I knew it was gonna hurt less, but
Yeah, that's right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. So I'm gonna do it, then I'm gonna let you try it. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Now I'm gonna hit my way up to the bar. Totally on my toe side. That one on the flat. Now I'm gonna go ahead and let you try it. Toe side.
so
Just remember to bring your weight into your toes.
same thing, kind of keep it in, kind of shadow.
Look in the mirror, and then as you're bringing your weight forward over, make sure you push down on the toes, push down on the shins, and bring your weight into the slope, just like you do on your own. Alright. Let's see it. You can do it, Danny. I have faith in you.
I know I can. It's just weird. 3, 2, 1.
Good, 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 good.
This is completely different. Like without a doubt. Yeah.
But is it fun?
No, it's fun.
See?
Yeah, it's absolutely a lot of fun. It's completely different. I can definitely feel that difference in the pull.
We teach for skiing. We start our kids at skiing 2.5 to 3. Normally we recommend 3.5 to 4 up, but we have done 2.5 to 3-year-olds. And they just either, on the day or the hour, take to it or don't take to it. One day they can come in and just be all excited and do everything you say and pay attention. The next day they're like squirrel. So that you can't really tell with the different kids. But definitely from the 4 on up, they're actually probably the easier ones to teach.
Yeah,
because they don't have any preconceived notions of what to do. They do something, you show them, they'll do it. If it works, they'll do it again. If it doesn't work, then they'll try something different. Whereas adults, we hear it, we think we understand it, we try to do it, but we're overthinking everything as adults. So adults sort of take a little bit longer sometimes to grasp the concept because we have we have to overanalyze everything. But if we can relax like kids, we always tell people, embrace your inner child, relax, feel it, understand what's going on. We have to explain what you need to do first, but then once we've explained it, we don't want you to sit there and focus on those words or those specific steps. We want you to say, hey, I want to make a left turn, and do that left turn without having to break it down into, oh, I need pressure on my left big toe, or my right big toe, or I need to do this, or I need to lean back, or I need to, So we try to get to where you can relax it, just like any other sport. If you can relax your mind and your body, then you can progress so much quicker. And we try to foster the environment here to where, hey, you're in control, we're in control, you need to stop the slope, boom, we've got a button
We're
that
on the
stops the
mountain,
slope.
it's just,
We're on the mountain, you're
just going.
You're 3,000 foot up and you're looking down going, I gotta go all the way down there.
Yeah,
right?
that's
Okay.
the only
And
way down.
trees.
And
Trees are one thing, they don't move. It's all the other people sometimes that are.
I have
in
met
and
a
out
lot
you.
of skiers who would argue that and say that tree jumped out in front of me and bit me,
Exactly. So,
Can you guys talk about how this translates to being on the slope?
Yeah, I'll do it from my perspective as from Winter Club, and then Danny can do it from her perspective as being on here for today. So I always say that everything that we do here translates 100% to the mountain. So if you're learning snowboard, heel side, toe side, your transitions, you will feel that what you're doing here, you can do on the mountain. And actually on the mountain, it's easier to do on the mountain. And they say, well, why is that? I say, if it was easier to do here than on the mountain, we wouldn't do you any favors. So everything that we do here, we have to have spot on. So your timing, your weight position, your technique, if it's a little bit off, you will feel it each and every time. And not only do you feel it each and every time, it's amplified. But once you get it right, then it feels like you're on the snow. So we reinforce that positive technique and timing in order to get that feel right. And the faster that we can get the slope moving, the more that you can relax, the more that you are getting into the groove, then it starts feeling, hey, I'm actually running down a blue run. So Danny, you were here just with Chris for 45 minutes to an hour today.
About that, yeah, and I definitely do agree with that. Being a snowboarder for about 10 years now, here I personally felt like it was a lot harder, because here I feel like I have to put more pressure either on my toe edge or my heel edge in order to do a turn or just to stay balanced, because he corrected a little bit of my stance where on the mountain I don't realize it, but I'm kind of sitting more in the saddle when I'm on my heel edge to where I should be standing up, and I didn't realize that until I was actually here. Where on the mountain it is a breeze, you just kind of go with the flow, and of course you don't have the trees, you don't have the snow plows from the other skiers, the other snowboarders to run into your edge and fall.
Right.
So it definitely is a big change. I mean, even if you have so much experience, if you have 10 years like me, if you have 20, 30, whatever, I would definitely recommend just to come here just so you can get that feel, because I never realized that until I was here.
Yeah. So many people, we have probably 60% of our clients come in and they've never skied or never snowboarded. The other 40, either 20% of those have been doing it for a long time and they just want to work out some kinks. The other 20%, they're here with a friend, and so they're like, I know how to do it, and they'll just start going. But I always like to try to say, give us a minute, understand what's going on. We're gonna back you up just a little bit so we can adjust. I had one guy come in here, he was for the first 10-minute session, of course he wasn't listening, he was just doing, falling, boom, 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 and then after the next 10-minute session, he got up there and started going with the class. And then I noticed that when he was doing his heel side and coming back to the right, he wasn't moving. It was difficult. When he was going to left, he was fine. And notice when he was snowboarding, but when he was trying to go to the right, he was taking his hips and rotating them. So once he did that, it was actually, his posture was actually pushing against him. So when I said that, just do this, and he goes, oh, I've been trying to figure out why I can't do that goofy side on the heel side like I can do the toe side on the goofy side, because he was automatically twisting. So we have the opportunity by standing up on the side of the boarder or the skier and watching their posture, doing it repetition, the same thing over and over again, and seeing the little tiny things that are wrong. Mm-hmm. One of the things that we look at is asymmetry, especially on skis. Hey, I got a great left turn, my right turn's not too good. So we look, well, what's the difference? They should be, especially in skiing, exactly the same. Mm-hmm. Snowboarding a little bit different because you've got a different stance on the board. But same thing, we can look at when they're going left versus when they're going right, what may be off. You know, their timing, they might be a little bit hesitant going this way, where on the other side, they're bouncing right into it. So it gives them the opportunity to do that over and over again, and then correct it, feel it corrected, feel it good, and then burn that into their muscle memory.
And saying that, on the mountain, I'm 100%, I favored my heel edge for the first year I was snowboarding, because I was so scared to go on my toe edge for the first year. Here, I felt like when he was saying, okay, we're gonna do our heel edge, I was like, I got this, let's do this. This is my favorite edge. And then just when I did the turn, I had it, and then just with a different, not having the snow in order to kind of catch me, I actually fell on my face. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, we find that most people that have done that, when they're trying to come in here, they're trying to make those heel side turns, and 9 times out of 10, if they're not getting it right, they have weight on that back leg.
Yeah.
They have weight on that back leg. It's always, we say, get that weight on the front, and it's just going to smooth right around.
For some reason, I felt more comfortable going to my toe edge. I still fell, just because it's completely different. But I felt more comfortable going on my toe edge. I mean, even on the mountain, a lot of people say, oh, I feel more comfortable going on my toe edge because I can see what's going up. But you don't really realize that in here. It's like, oh, okay.
Winter Club Indoor Ski and Snowboard, we do training for both skiing and snowboarding, starting from ages 2 to 3 for skiers, and we try to start between 5 and 7 for snowboarders, just because of the size and the mass of getting that going. So we can teach people that have either never seen snow and are going out for the first time, or they've been skiing or snowboarding for years and they want to come in and hone their specific techniques. We're a controlled environment so that all of our instructors can watch your specific techniques over and over again and correct those little tiny details that you need to get that going. All of our sessions are always an hour long, and we'll break those sessions into 10-minute segments. 10 minutes on, 10-minute rest, 10 minutes on, 10-minute rest, 10 minutes on, 10-minute rest. And during that 10 minutes, you can either be one-on-one private with the instructor, or a semi-private, you and a friend, or a group of 3.
Cost?
For a private session, for just one private session, is $99 and includes the instruction, the slope time, skis, board, boots, helmets. If you do have your own boots or helmets, you can bring those in, but we do have to use our own skis and boards. For a semi-private, it's $59 each. These are adult prices. And then for a group of 3 is $49 each. Perfect. Kids are normally $5 to $10 difference or less than the adult price.
Danny, now that you've had your intro lesson, how do you feel it compares to actual snowboarding on a mountain?
To be completely honest, it's completely different. Now, on the actual mountain, you have more obstacles in your way. You have snow that's being pushed by other skiers, other snowboarders. You have trees that randomly pop up in front of you, which you definitely don't want to run into a tree. That's not fun. But it's definitely completely different. I feel, being a snowboarder on snow and here, I feel like you have to kind of think about it a little bit more than you actually have to think about it on the mountain, because you actually have to put more pressure on your skis or your snowboard, and actually in order to either do your turn or your glide. But it's amazing fun. I definitely do recommend it. Now, You can come here, you can take a group lesson, or you can take a single lesson. It's completely up to you.
Now, do you feel that what you learned here translates to the mountain? Do you feel it's more of a fine-tuning of your skills?
I definitely do feel like it's going to be a different tone. Something that he taught me, what I noticed that I didn't notice on the mountain when I'm actually snowboarding, but I did notice here, is I do sit more when I'm snowboarding, when I'm on my heel edge, where he told me to stand up a bit more straighter. I definitely did feel a difference of that, and I felt like that, just little advice, definitely helped me, and I feel like I'm gonna move that over to the mountain.
As stated before, when you come to Orlando, we do recommend that you come and check out this place. It's not too far of a drive. We hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe and support us on Patreon.